Hello and welcome to Procrastination Point's video Snark. This video series isn't an audiobook, it is designed as commentary. This series emphasizes reading and listening comprehension skills. If you thought that this was an audiobook, maybe stick around and learn something. I also want to know why it is that you thought that this was an audiobook, because no matter how many times that I say up front that this is a detailed book review, people still get upset that this isn't an audiobook. What made you click on this? My focus is on reading books, discussing what went wrong, and suggesting ways that they could be fixed. I'm continuing my read-through of Girl in Line by Zoe Sugg and or Siobhan Curham. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, you can find the links below. Chapter 37. As you might imagine, being told that your boyfriend is a famous rock star is kind of a lot to take in. To make matters worse, Ollie keeps talking about how some other female celebrity that rock star Noah is in a relationship with. Penny finds it super hard to believe, but then she realizes that during all the time she spent with him, she literally never found out what Noah's surname was, which, wow, you know him so well, babe, you didn't even know what his surname is. True love. She does tell Ollie that she met Noah when she was in New York, which he obviously finds impressive, but he doesn't seem to understand that Penny is having some sort of a crisis. Penny tells him that she's not feeling well, what she calls her out on that you were fine a moment ago. Well, she isn't now, jerkwad. He insists that he has a crush on her and wants to go out with her, that Meg told him all about Penny's crush and now he returns her feelings. Penny becomes angry when he refuses to leave her room and insists on going out for pizza with her. Like, dude, take a hint, would you? You don't get to barge into a girl's room and tell them that they aren't sick, demand to go get pizza, and then somehow act like you're the injured party here. Ugh, this subplot with Ollie isn't going to be over quickly, is it? As soon as Ollie is gone, Penny searches up the name Ollie had told her, Noah Flynn, and sure enough, there he is, named in an article with a picture of Noah. Except, rather than the One Direction thing that I was thinking, Noah's backstory sounds suspiciously like Justin Bieber's, an unknown who was discovered on YouTube then signed to a label. Then Penny searches up the female pop star Leah Brown. She sounds suspiciously like Taylor Swift, what with being a huge international star who was constantly traveling around in her private jet. The search of Noah Flynn plus Leah Brown turns up a lot of hits from American celebrity gossip sites, but Penny does end up on Leah's Twitter where she tagged him in a bunch of things, even one dated from the day before Penny met him. Noah himself has only ever tweeted about having been signed. True to what Noah had told Penny, he does seem to be off social media completely. Penny then gets a dismissive text from Elliot begging out from their plans to hang out. Although the tone is curt, it doesn't take much to read the anger between the lines. He's so upset that she basically ditched him to hang out in New York with Noah for another week after he was forced to return home. Penny is upset that Elliot is taking his anger and frustrations out on her and literally starts to cry. And I get it. Penny deserves so much more than the way every single person in her life has been treating her. To be fair, of course, she fell hard and fast for Noah. Everybody else treats her like dirt. Literally everybody, including her parents and so-called best friends. After she's done crying, she begins to think about the bizarre encounters Noah had while they were getting the tiara for the wedding. Noah had brushed it off, but now it makes sense because he is famous. However, rather than to simply ask Noah about any of it, she gets upset with the idea that he has a girlfriend, that he got out of his way to hide all of that from her. She rips up the photo she had of him on her mirror and starts crying even harder. And to think that I'd actually blogged about it. I actually told the world I'd fallen in love and met my soulmate. What was I thinking? To jump off of the idea of you can't marry a man you just met, you shouldn't declare that they're your soulmate and one true love after literally a week. At this point, Penny is only hurting her own feelings for jumping too fast without thinking things through. Yes, she's young, but holy cow, anybody could have told you to slow down. She spends literally the rest of the day moping around her room. When it gets dark out, she finally checks her phone. There's a message from Noah asking if she's up for Skyping with him. He also says that Sadie and Bella miss her as well. Penny, in a moment of absolute self-sabotage, tells him that this thing isn't going to work and asks him not to contact her again. I'm not saying that she's wrong to be upset with the knowledge that Noah hid who he was from her, or the idea that he might have a girlfriend, keyword might. I have my doubts about that. But girl, you literally befriended a rock star. Use that. You'd be stupid not to. She sends the text before she can second-guess herself, then turns her phone off so that she can avoid having to think about all of that. As she curls up on her bed again, she tries to think happy thoughts. She thinks about wanting to write a blog post since it's literally the only bright spot in her life at the moment, but she'll write a post in the morning begging her followers for help. Love my Snark, I also offer book editing services where I bring that same approach to your writing. If you prefer a more traditional approach, I also offer professional book editing services. You can contact me on any of my social media platforms if you have further questions about my editing services, including pricing options. Chapter 38. When Penny wakes up, she feels as though her entire life right now is a little unreal. And I get that. It must be odd to think that the cute guy you were making out with a few days ago is super famous, enough to be reported to be in a relationship with another famous celebrity. She turns her phone back on only to find that Noah was trying to reach her after her angry text. Then he got angry at her, which confuses Penny something fierce because he has no right to get angry like that, not after he'd lied to her, and from her perspective, led her on while he was in a relationship with somebody else. Penny is quick to send an angry text back in response to his anger, but then her anger is quick to fade. She's now struggling to come to terms with Noah in the tent on New Year's Eve as a man who lied to her so much. She goes into her email, glad that her inbox is seemingly full from people commenting on her blog, except that they are all randomly angry that she's a home-wrecking whore who broke up Leah Brown and Noah Flynn. Like, okay, I'm waiting for that to make sense and I'm going to give it time. But mostly it's like, how? How did one girl's random blog post give everything away? Somebody linked some American Gossip Rag article. While Leah Brown spent Christmas in LA with her folks, it looks like her new love interest, Noah Flynn, found someone else to smooch beneath the mistletoe. UK blogger Penny Porter, better known as Girl Online. I stare at the screen in horror. They know my name. How do they know my name? That's not creepy at all. If that's not grounds for a restraining order, I don't know what is. Oh, you want to know who might have tipped them off? Elliot. He's been acting super suspicious ever since he left New York. I don't think he's in it for the money. I think she sounds kind of sweet. He's the skank cheating on his girlfriend while she's out of town. Seriously, why are people so quick to throw the woman under the bus when it comes to cheating when the man is equally as guilty? Furthermore, if, and that's a big if in my opinion, Noah is actually with Leah, then he's the one here who cheated. Also, Penny isn't even 16. Why the hell isn't anybody saying about how 18 plus Noah Flynn was seen canoodling with an underage girl? However, they all think that Penny knew getting into her relationship with Noah that he was also in a relationship with somebody else at the time. Except, as I've been saying, they forgot the most important part. Penny is an absolute moron. Not only did she not know who Noah was, but she literally never even considered he had a girlfriend at all. Actually, didn't he go out of his way to say that he didn't have one? Like, Penny was relieved about it? I don't know, man. This is why I don't trust those celebrity gossip places. A lot of what they do isn't actually reporting, but rather speculation box off of proximity. Is Anna Taylor-Joy really pregnant with quadruplets with Harry Styles? Probably not, but they were seen together in the same general area, and they weren't talking to each other. To make matters worse, this miserable strain upon actual journalism links back to Penny's blog. I would like to point out that during all of their investigative journalism, not once did anybody point out that the girl behind the screen of those posts is literally 15 years old, because I think even the author forgot that little factoid. I'm really hung up over that in case you couldn't tell, mainly because Noah is over 18 and the relationship is creepy. And then, as I said earlier, nobody is reporting on this, and dunking on Penny is saying anything about Penny's age. Probably because that would mean admitting that Noah is engaging in mild pedophilic behavior. Back on Penny's blog, she reads more angry comments from people who took every single thing that Penny ever wrote and spin it so wildly out of context, and we're back to blaming Penny for being a home-wrecking whore. I can't deal with this. As you might imagine, this sends Penny spiraling into an intense panic attack, the likes of which she has never experienced before, but if there's ever a time to have one... If you're interested in reading my own stories, you can purchase my spicy short stories as well as 2 full-length novels on Amazon. I also frequently run flash sales on my stories. If you're not already following me on Reddit, I recommend doing so to stay updated on when I offer free content. Reddit is currently the only place where I'm advertising myself these days. Chapter 39. For literally the first time in this entire book, Penny's parents act like they give a hoot about their daughter. To be fair, they do find her lying on the ground, but she's been having panic attacks in her room, and they were so unaware of anything that was going on. I don't buy any of this at all. Penny tries to brush the entire thing under the rug, which is way more frustrating. But one thing I do know for sure in all my panic and confusion is that I can't dump this on them. I can't freak them out. I have to try to find a way to sort it myself. Girl, this is so much bigger than you. If there's ever a time to tell your parents that you're in trouble, it's right now. Her parents leave with the intention of bringing her food and a cuppa. However, it's hard to blame them for the quick retreat when Penny herself is the one who acted like she was stressing about so much that she became literally catatonic on the floor was a whole lot of nothing. Penny then changes her blog settings so that nobody can comment on anything. She spends some time removing the hateful comments. Then she deletes her Twitter account when it's obvious that all of the notifications are nothing but harassment. She does the same thing with her Facebook account. That done, she sits back and wonders how this got out. She rightfully thinks about Elliot. Penny had shown him a picture of Noah, but he had kind of brushed the topic of Noah aside and changed the subject. She also thinks that this is the longest she's gone without hearing from Elliot, either via text or from him knocking on their shared bedroom wall, that when Meg posted the video of Penny tripping, Elliot had come over immediately. The fact that Elliot isn't there for her right now is not so much speaking volumes as it is screaming in Penny's ear that he did this. When she realizes what Elliot did, she feels betrayed. Even she acknowledges that she barely met Noah, hardly even knows him, but for her best friend to have done something like this, that stuff cuts hard and deep. Her mother comes back with some tea. Penny's crying over the thought of Elliot's betrayal, but is quick to brush her mother off. Her dad comes back with pancakes, which he says he learned how to make from Sadie Lee. The thought of Noah's kind granny only upsets Penny even more, that Sadie Lee knew the entire time yet never said anything. Another betrayal. She sits in silence, which is only broken by the sound of email notifications on her phone. She eventually turns it and her laptop off and puts both in her closet. She feels safe like that until she's bombarded with horrific images of being buried alive by angry emails. However, rather than to get her devices back out, she wills herself to believe that everything is okay, which is actually a pretty smart thing to do. Eventually, her brother Tom comes in. Unlike their oblivious parents, Tom actually goes into the internet. He saw the stuff that people are posting about her and Noah and asks if it's true. Penny confesses that it's true that she met Noah Flynn while they were in New York, but that she didn't know that he had a girlfriend. However, she keeps quiet about accusing Elliot because she doesn't know if that's actually true or not. She doesn't want to start anything with Elliot until she's got all the facts. Tom then gives her a piece of advice from his lived experience, that when he was in grade school he had a bully who would steal his lunch and made up rumors about me. What those rumors are isn't elaborated on. Tom tried to convince his parents to let him remain home from school forever, until one day Penny told him that the only way for the nasty rumors to stop is to go to school and show people that they aren't true. That until people speak up about their side of things, the only word people have to go off of is the only version that they've been fed. Penny obviously doesn't actually want to have anything to do with this. She seems to be of the opinion that if she buries her head in the sand and gaslights herself, then everything will somehow be okay, which is not great, honestly. Maybe other people could shrug it off, but it's only been a couple of hours and she's already worked herself into such a frenzy about it. I can't even imagine what she'd be like if she actually has to go to school and deal with this, but Tom convinces her that this is what she must do. Tom is the real hero here. Penny does beg her brother not to tell their parents about this, that they'd rightfully be upset, although I'm not quite sure how Tom could possibly keep it from their parents, not when it's all over the internet. They'd have to never be online at all in order to avoid all of it. Not only does Tom agree to keep this from them, he also promises to put off his return to school for a few days. This is the support that Penny has needed from the start of the story, not whatever the hell her parents have been doing that's been so oblivious to the emotional needs of their child. Patreon has recently introduced free memberships. By joining, you'll be able to enjoy the same content I post on Tumblr, now conveniently available on Patreon. Patreon supporters can enjoy even more book snarks, starting at only $1 a month. Plus, Patreon now offers a 1-week free trial. Don't miss it! Big shout out to Phoebe for supporting me on Patreon already. If you want to hear your name in my video next week, either support me on Patreon or make a one-time donation. Chapter 40. After Tom leaves, Penny goes to take a bath, but she can't relax much since being in the water reminds her of how Noah had told her that she is like a mermaid. Back in her room, she tries to turn the fairy lights on, but that only reminds her of the blanket fort Noah had made. She then storms over to ask Elliot's parents for her friend. However, when Elliot says something further inside the house, his parents rudely slam the door in her face. Tacky! Back home, she fumes about the entire situation with Elliot. She knows that it was him regardless of any sort of proof. The fact that he is hiding from her is evidence enough, apparently. After tossing out the idea of sitting outside and waiting to ambush him, as well as drilling a hole through their shared bedroom wall, she eventually sends him a text expressing how disappointed she is that he would do something like that, which is way nicer than I think she should be, but I think that she's also secretly hoping to be wrong about Elliot. After she sends it, she feels so alone. Although she knows that her parents love her, it's not exactly like she's told them what's going on. Only Tom knows most of what's going on, even if she did leave out about Elliot. She then checks Elliot's Twitter, which hasn't been updated since Christmas Day. His last Instagram post is from before he left New York. Penny laments that things were so much easier then. Since there's nothing to be gained from stalking Elliot right now, she decides to switch over to finding out more info about Noah. Obviously, searching for him turns up speculative articles about herself. There's a new one with info taken directly from Penny's site about her sweet personal moment with Noah the night that they watched It's a Wonderful Life together. To be fair, Penny did post about it on her blog. However, the fact that they've uncovered that girl on line 22 is Penny is freaking demented and creepy and grounds for a restraining order, in my opinion. I'm too shocked at what I've just read. What are they talking about? What breakdown? Can't they really just make stuff up like that? Then I think back to the post I read about facing fears and how I talked about the exercise Noah shared with me. My face flushes red hot, but I didn't say that he had a breakdown. I didn't even mention his parents. I just said he lost someone close to him. I stare at the screen in disbelief. How can they do this? How can they twist things like this? And you have stumbled upon every single thing wrong with celebrity veneration. These people are parasites, literally mentally ill. It's not normal to obsess as much over a complete stranger, yet not only is it done, it's been so normalized. Digging a tiny bit deeper, Penny finds a link to Meg's child revenge porn video. I will not let it go. It's literally child porn and it's on YouTube. However, unlike the last time that Penny looked at the video, there are no thousands of mean comments. Penny blames Leah's fans for it, but I'm certain that most of them didn't need an excuse. People are kind of miserable when they think that they're anonymous online, to be honest. Penny is called downstairs for dinner. She reluctantly goes because she's supposed to cling to the facade that is her normal life for some unholy reason. At the table, her mom says that she's been invited back to New York to do another party. Apparently, they don't have party planners in the entire eastern United States coast, which I find difficult to believe. No party planners in New York? You'd sooner have me believe that Santa is actually real. As you might imagine, Penny doesn't exactly respond well to hearing about this, but her mom is oblivious and talks about how she's been trying to get a hold of Sadie Lee to no success. Tom makes a snide remark about Sadie Lee, which obviously flies over the head of their mother. When she goes back upstairs, she finds that Elliot still hasn't responded to her. She starts to groom scroll through the photos from her trip. She's about to delete the one of Noah, but decides against it. Then she gets back to the photos she took inside the hotel room before she met Noah. Then she prints them out and puts them around her mirror. They serve as a reminder that it actually did happen, that she wasn't making things up. She also reminds herself that she is a good person, and that literally none of those people who are talking about her online know the first thing about her. Thanks for watching. New Book Snark's videos go live every Monday with occasional extras during the week. Your support means so much, even if it's not financial. Watching my videos, subscribing, and liking and sharing them with friends all go a long way in helping my channel grow. If you've already caught up with all my videos, you can go to Facebook, WordPress, Tumblr, or free on Patreon for my main book Snarks, always free and updated every morning. Linktree for everything is posted below. See you next week, guys!